You know that moment when you're helping a friend decide whether a big-ticket piece of equipment is worth the cash, and you both start picturing every possible scenario: rainy mornings, steep driveways, grocery trips, even a quick jaunt to the park? That's exactly what I was doing the other day, weighing the pros and cons of a mobility scooter that promises to handle anything from a smooth sidewalk to a rugged backyard trail. I wanted to be sure the investment wouldn't turn into a "what did I just spend" feeling, especially when the price tag is already a stretch for many seniors. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When you start looking at all-terrain scooters, the first thing that pops up is the motor size. The Dvsripa comes with a 1000W brushless motor, which is a step up from the 500800W units you usually see in the market. In plain language, that extra power translates to a smoother climb up a 12% hill without the motor whining or the battery draining fast. I ran a quick mental test. Imagine needing to go from your front porch down a sloping driveway, then over to the neighbor's garden path that's littered with small rocks. A weaker motor would probably stall or feel sluggish, but the 1000W version keeps a steady pace, making the ride feel confident rather than tentative. The scooter also offers 3 adjustable speed settings. That's not just a marketing gimmick, it lets you dial down to a very gentle crawl when you're maneuvering in tight indoor spaces, like a kitchen aisle or a crowded community center hallway. On the other hand, you can crank it up to the highest setting for a quick dash to the mailbox or to keep up with friends on a paved trail. The control panel is simple enough that someone who isn't tech-savvy can still feel comfortable switching speeds on the fly. Comfort is another factor that tends to get glossed over in spec sheets, but the Dvsripa's seat is fully adjustable height, tilt, and backrest angle. For a user who spends a few hours each day out on the scooter, that kind of flexibility can prevent the sore back feeling you get after a long ride on a rigid seat. I pictured a retired teacher who spends mornings grading papers at the library, then heads out to the farmer's market for an hour of fresh air. Being able to raise the seat a couple of inches to see over a crowd or tilt it back for a short nap while waiting for a coffee line makes a real difference in daily usability. Now, the all-terrain claim is where the rubber meets the road. The scooter is equipped with large, puncture-resistant tires and a suspension system that can handle gravel, grass, and even a light snow cover. In the suburbs, many retirees enjoy a quick ride to the community pool, which often means navigating a mix of paved sidewalks and unpaved parking lots. The Dvsripa's tires absorb the bumps without sending the whole chassis shaking, so you're not constantly fighting for balance. However, it's worth noting that while the scooter can manage a mild off-road environment, it's not built for steep mountain trails or deep sand. If you're planning on taking it on a rugged campground trail, you might find the ride a little too jarring, and the motor could struggle on the steepest inclines. Safety features include a bright LED headlamp and rear lights, plus a horn that's loud enough to alert pedestrians without being obnoxious. Those lights are especially handy for early morning trips to the mailbox when visibility is low. The scooter also has a built-in battery indicator that shows remaining range in real time, helping you avoid the dreaded out-of-juice scenario in the middle of a grocery store parking lot. The advertised range is generous, but keep in mind that real-world distance depends heavily on terrain, speed, and how often you use the seat adjustments. On flat pavement at a moderate speed, you could probably cover 20-25 miles on a single charge. Throw in some hills and you'll see that number dip. One practical weakness that shows up when you think about everyday life is the weight and folding mechanism. The Dvsripa isn't a lightweight fold-away scooter you can toss into the trunk of a car. At around 350 pounds, it's meant to be driven directly from the garage or stored in a dedicated spot at home. If you rely on public transport or need to lift it into a small vehicle, you'll need a ramp or a helper. That's something families with limited storage space should consider before committing. Another point to weigh is the price versus the warranty and support. Dvsripa offers a reliable warranty and local US customer service, which is a relief when you're buying a complex piece of equipment. The trade-off is that the upfront cost is higher than some budget models that might lack the all-terrain capability. If you're only planning to use the scooter on smooth indoor floors and short, paved walks, a cheaper, lighter model could meet your needs without the extra horsepower. So, who should seriously consider the Dvsripa 1000W all-terrain mobility scooter?